Julian, name a minority leader.
Me.
Current.
Exactly.
What do you say?
Community leader, living currently
Florida, or
in general in this
community?
in black community,
Okay, that
this
part.
country, right now.
We going around the table?
Round table,
Okay.
Julian.
Yeah, don't say that first.
Man, I mean, a black leader, it's tough. You mainly think about
You're right on there.
celebrities.
A few seconds. Give me a name. We'll come back.
I think of Louis Farrakhan, to be honest. You know, he's still a voice. He's a very controversial voice, but he's one of the few that came from the MLK, Malcolm X era, and I feel like there's none left from that era.
Nikita.
And Louis Farrakhan is one of them.
I'll just say Obama.
Yeah, Obama.
Which
Jim.
one?
Which
Don't take mine.
All of them.
Yeah.
You gonna say all of them?
You said
all
of them.
whichever one you take, I'll take the other one.
Mine wouldn't lie. It's both of them.
That's fair.
Jimmy.
Me. Just kidding.
Narcissist.
No, it's not me. No, absolutely not. I would say we touched on this earlier, so it's hard for me not to say this. It's definitely in the celebrity realm. I think society definitely looks towards black celebrities as leaders. Right now, that's a toughie.
Look how tough it is.
Yeah,
Say the one we were talking about.
We were talking about. I mean, we could say Jay, but I'll put an asterisk on that. When I mean Jay-Z, asterisk. It's like literally like a month ago, black billionaire, woo! And then today it's like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, bro, what are you doing?
So, Dr. Isaac,
And I
lady.
hate for it to, that's fine. I think of a now living, my other one was spoken of already, but I do think of, and again, outside of his basketball stuff, but I do think of LeBron James in a way, mainly so because I like the education piece of what he did with opening the school. Now, I don't know all the in-depth things that he did, but I feel like he at least has a voice in some way, and plus or minus on decisions he made about his basketball career, but still at least off of the field or off of the court, and the school stuff, and the supporting when things are happening, that whether it may just be a t-shirt, but I'm sure he's saying something else other places or on award shows and things like that. So I'll
KP?
that.
I was along the same lines as you, Jimmy, as far as like celebrities, but I wasn't thinking about Jay-Z. I actually thought about his wife, Beyonce, and I say this loosely because I don't think she's a leader in the sense of what we would tend to think of like Malcolm X and MLK, but I do feel like she makes it a point to represent. To love your skin, love you, be proud from wherever you came from, and that's that. And literally her last few projects have been pretty big. Like Homecoming, I mean, I didn't go to HBCU, but I pledged a sorority, a black sorority, and it was Beyonce, man. She just definitely represents, and she does not care. Like, this is me, I'm black and proud, and that's that.
Yeah.
So I think as far as her boldness, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, we listed a lot of great names, individuals.
What do you think?
Yeah, what was your
Yeah, you're not gonna just run.
Hey,
come on, word.
For that one.
Yeah, for sure.
I would have gotten away with it, too.
Yeah, no, for me.
Who do I think? It's hard because no one really
Yeah.
jumps out to me. Like,
Right.
all the people you guys, listed are favorites of mine. Like, I'm an Obama supporter. You know I'm a Bay fan. So all these people, I definitely appreciate, and I see the work that they do. LeBron James, in his philanthropy and efforts outside of sport, I think he individually has kind of changed how athletes kind of market or own their own brand as opposed to teams owning them. So I definitely appreciate that about him. But when I ask that question and when I view it, I think of leaders in the sense of people systematically challenging like the status quo and like flipping things on their heads to where certain people are uncomfortable. And I think we haven't had anybody like that since I can go back to like MLK, really. And I feel like there's a lot of issues within our community that kind of stem from this void in that type of leadership in decades.
Well, I mean, I guess my thing, do you think in this type of society that can be a thing? Do you think we can have the Black Panthers, MLK, Malcolm X, oh my goodness, Rosa Parks, and all these different things all working together? Do you think that's a thing that can happen in this society?
I think it is, because I think if you look back to the time that these people were present and alive and when they were doing their work, did anybody think that they could do what they did in that time?
No.
We're talking about during the civil rights movement, an era that things were a lot more, I guess, upfront. Kind of how they kind of become now in this new state of America. Things are becoming much less subdued and overtly in your face. Like, this is how I feel about things, etc.
But you gotta remember, back then, so in my mind, I feel like there's a lot of people that are complacent. They're okay with their little bit of freedom, and they don't want to push that. They don't want to question that. I's not a slave no more.
But see, that's different. Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I
Like,
get you.
I'm not segregated. I have access to everything, quotation marks.
Right. So when you asked that question initially in this current era or time and place, I wasn't viewing it from our own community and our mindset. More so I was viewing it as far as like the environment and those around us. Right? So you can say that, policies and the people in charge and presidents, etc., they make it harder for us to have those types of leaders. And I would say that's not necessarily true, because look at the times that MLK and all those other individuals, look at when they were present. Things were probably even harder law-wise on our people than it is now. But if you're talking about like our mentality us holding ourselves back and what we allow ourselves to basically accept because we have these different forms of freedom, if you want to call it freedom, then that's a different conversation.
Well, that's definitely what I mean, because I feel like then there were so many, like, I mean, there's always BS, there's still BS, but I think people are okay with the level where they can tolerate. Our tolerance is pretty high. How many times have you guys been in a room and heard something or seen something, whether it was directly towards you or someone else, sat through that, may have chuckled through it and moved on, and then came home grumbled? Like, I do that all the time. I'm a great actor, let me tell y'all. I need a damn award.
I think I agree and disagree at the same time. I feel like it goes back to what you were talking about, like being online and social media and like the love-hate relationship you have with it. Like, I think digitally speaking, there is a movement that is empowering people. I've seen people go from the individual that will take the microaggression and go home and cry about it. I've seen that same person transform into the person that was like, nope, to every white person that is microaggressed. Nope, to every professor that is like being racist overtly or covertly. I've seen an empowerment. I've seen like social media movements where, like, especially Black women, I've seen that more so online, like this embracing of appreciation for yourself because society doesn't appreciate you at all. So, and then that is empowering, and then like the narrative about the angry Black woman is sort of embraced as empowering because you're righteous in your anger. And then you call things out and you make things known in person, in real life.
Okay, so because that was my thing. Because I feel like it's easy not for me, but in certain aspects, it's easier for people to go on to social media and be very strong and powerful. Sure. But in person, are you really about that life? Because of course, there is a movement, and I see it, and I love it. But I also question is this really that same energy that you're giving? Because sometimes you can't.
Yeah.
sometimes you really can't. Or if you do, you have to be very mindful. You can't be as raw or edgy. I mean, the internet loves raw, loves edgy, loves like controversial. But in a professional setting or in day to day, you have to be mindful how you go about that. So that's what I think like. Yes, I agree we need a leader. We definitely do. But do we agree that we need a leader?
I think it like, even like with the stereotype angry black woman, I want to be like careful about that because I think it's more of the like we're changing that. It's not me being angry. It's me standing up for myself. It's me being assertive. I think people are quick to be like, oh, well, you're just angry. And it's like, I'm actually standing up for myself, and you do that all the time, and like it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Excuse me, this is not sparkling water, so
it's like those like type of things. It's like, well, but in like the work setting, it's like, oh, well, I have to be very strategic about how I say this, and it's like put on the person to be like, well, let me explain this, and like let me tell you, and let me tell you in a way that you can accept it and not get defensive. And then, but it's in like sometimes by the time you get to that place where it's like, okay, I finally got it. It's like, all right, well now I got to figure out a way to like bring this back up to you because it's been however much time and you don't care anymore.
yeah.